The good news this Friday morning is that sugar sector has been decontrolled. Even though the sector has been decontrolled with some riders, and the material impact may not be all that meaningful. Markets are crying and markets are hungry for good news. Sugar stocks are underowned. Sugar stocks are not owned by any of the key institutional investors. So today's news reaction will be very obvious in some of the key and large sugar companies. But let's discuss the fine print of sugar decontrol with the minister himself, Mr. KV Thomas, Food Minister, who joins us. Mr. Thomas, good morning. Thank you for joining us. The Cabinet has decided to decontrol the sugar sector, but the decontrol has come with some riders. Why the decision to abolish the levy quota only for 2 years? 2 years is not a good time for the industry to make necessary adjustments.
What we need for the domestic purpose is around 220 to 230 lakhs. After that, about 20 lakhs is needed for the public distribution system. That is the levy sugar, which is the 10% of what we produce in the country. And for that 20 lakhs, one of the major complaints from the sugar producing states, farmers, is that why should we bear it? Because we give them only the FRP right. For example, this year we are giving 19 rupees 50 paise per kilogram, when the market price is 32. So they have been asking us, why should we bear it? So the entire issue has gone to Dr. Rangarajan, and Rangarajan had a detailed discussion with the state governments, various stakeholders, and he gave 8 recommendations. On all the 8 recommendations, we reacted. The major is the levy obligation. We should also understand this levy obligation is only just 17 to 20 lakhs out of the 260, 240 lakhs which we produce in the country, out of the 220 lakhs which we need domestically. So what we have decided is, of the 17 to 20 lakhs, the distribution will continue to the same quantity at the same rate to every state. That is 1350 will be per kilogram will be the price of the sugar in the public distribution system. What we have decided? There will be a cap. We decide on what basis we decide the cap? On the basis of the ex-milk price, which is around 32 rupees now. So we will be subsidizing the states 32 minus 13.5, which is coming around 5,300 crores. At present, the subsidy, the sugar subsidy is about 2,000 something. Now it is going up to 5,000 crores, above 5,000, which Government of India will bear. We are not passing on to anybody else. So this is the important decision government has taken, even though we have to bear some subsidy, but this will help the farmers, this will help the consumers.
Mr. Thomas, I'm morning. So why the cap ex-mill price at 32 rupees?
10% was the levy sugar for the PDS system. We will continue with the PDS system. The states, the consumers will be getting at 13 rupees 50 per. So all these things are being protected. But there should be some mechanism of subsidy component. That subsidy component we have decided on the basis of the ex-milk price now. That is the only mechanism we have got.
Mr. Thomas, what about the excise duty? Why was it not approved?
No, we are not taking a decision on that. Because this subsidy burden to the tune of 5,000 odd crores will be borne by Government of India.
So, Mr. Thomas, wasn't it prudent to then, levy the excise and reduce the burden when the government is looking to cut deficit?
So, when you have to help the farmers, when you have to help the consumer, what option we have got? This is a hard option, but we decided that this 5,000 crores will be borne by the Government of India.
Mr. Thomas, why let state fix prices in the first place? You are simply passing the control from one entity to other entity.
Now, at present, what is happening, especially in the consuming states, we make the allocation. They don't know from which state but which they are getting. So they have got a transportation cost. All these things they have to bear. Now they can do it very freely. There will be competition. Definitely, I have no doubt there will be competition because mills have to sell some quantity at some point of time. So definitely there will be competition. And I think the states will be getting the sugar at a much lower price than the present price of the ex-milk price.
So what was the idea behind states fixing distances?
No, all these things were sent to the states. These are part of the 8 recommendations. All those things we still send to the states because states have to find out a solution for that.
Mr. Thomas, the Rangarajan committee had sought a revenue sharing mechanism. Why was that not approved? Everything has been approved, but nothing on revenue sharing.
That is something, an ongoing process. See, the Rangarajan committee had these recommendations only after due consultation with the state governments.
Mr. Thomas, really appreciate you taking the time out and chatting with us this morning.